Hi everybody, welcome to Run with Alli live. This is probably the biggest live I have done to date in terms of expressing what I've been going through lately, so that most of you on here that are in the running world and not could relate. And oh my gosh, my heart's beating so fast right now because it's been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster for me, and I think that many of you will be able to relate to this and understand why, my main message and takeaway that I hope most of you get from this video is to, one, I don't like using that finger for one. When you hit roadblocks, be optimistic about it. Always look for the silver lining. It's easier said than done. I could relate. I'm just like you. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back, because it's your journey, and just own the fact that you're going to be able to use that to help someone else dealing with similar setbacks as you are, and they're temporary. Two, be authentic. Be yourself. I love how beautiful filters make everybody look on Instagram, including myself. I love the eyelash filter, great on Instagram for that. And all of this amazing information everyone shares. But personally, after speaking with one of my runners on a one-on-one just a few minutes ago, we were actually talking about, I guess, the fear of being judged. And like I said, my heart's about to beat out of my chest. Not so much about, I don't really care about being judged, but what I'm about to share is kind of personal, but it's also a part of my holistic running journey as a runner, as a coach, having taken a huge leap in my personal fitness. And I just know it's going to help someone on here in some sort of way, whether it's hearing me out and hearing what my pain points are, or maybe you're going through something similar and you want to reach out and talk about it. info@runwithalli.com is my email, and I'm here, and you could always reach out to me. And three, don't be afraid to share setbacks. We're human, we're not robots. And it's amazing, and it's really great to always share a wealth of knowledge, information that could help others on here that's really positive, because after going through a global pandemic, we all need a little more of that. But it's also really valuable to hear all of these, I want to say, things that arise that we can't really control, and how we kind of deal with them. So really taking away those three things from this chat, I really hope that you learn a thing or two, and I hope I'm able to provide some value for you. So, let me just start by saying this, and this is a question, or I guess let me ask, have any of you ever experienced kind of feeling a bit lethargic, like to a different extreme, to a different level? You don't have to, answer on here. You could write it down. You could write down your answer, but in your head if you felt a certain way. I definitely have, and more so than ever. At 31 years old, it's not a baby. I'm not a grandma. At least I hope not. I don't think I am. But it's really important to focus on health, and especially for those of you training on here, or coaching others, or just beginning to think about running again. It's really important to holistically listen to your body and get things checked out right away. So recently, I personally have just been feeling really lethargic, to the point where I was teaching group fitness. I was unable to wake up for an 8:30 a.m. class. I couldn't get out of bed. One morning I woke up and something felt off. My body felt weak, and this was getting worse as my weekly volume progressed, as I'm training for a sub 3-hour marathon, which I cannot wait to do. And here's the optimism. I'm still doing it regardless, because nothing's getting in that way of that goal. But you know, those are not normal things. I have recently just been so freaking lethargic that I couldn't even like go for a walk down the street some days after a hard tempo run. Meanwhile, just do the tempo run as it is. For me, you know, I've personally taken a leap in my fitness. Just to, you know, give you some context here, that is really new for me. My body has never been running at these paces, running this volume at these intensities. And, you know, our bodies are all different. So, you know, what works for me doesn't work for you, but what I provide here, you definitely could take away a few things and try some things out. So let me get to the good stuff. Well, the kind of good stuff. So when that kept happening over and over, I knew I had to get a blood test. I wanted to get everything checked for. I wanted to walk into the doctor's office and say, check me for everything, but arguably a doctor might think you're a hypochondriac if you do that, right? Right. So I nicely just, you know, asked my doctor, you know, hey, I have a feeling my iron might be low. I would like to get my ferritin checked. I'd also like to get my hormones checked, everything, my white blood cell count, my red blood cell count, and, you know, my estrogen, my testosterone, all of that, my thyroid, because something's up and this is not how I should be feeling, I think. So that being said, and I don't eat, or I didn't eat red meat for 10 years before this chat. And I can't wait to look back on this chat and, you know, for my self-published book down the road, just document this day because it's a really big day for me. Thank you for being here. So after getting my blood results back yesterday, I was a little floored. To each one of my clients, I could not be more thankful enough for all of them just being very understanding, patient, and, you know, because I just haven't really been my energetic self. And I've been told that, you know, I come across as very optimistic, and that's because I do my best to do that. But I'm not always, you know, super energetic. Trust me, I'm not. And it was getting to a point where, you know, it was concerned. So long story short, I got my blood results back and I was like borderline anemic. My hemoglobin was so low. My ferritin was 16. So that is, it should be like upwards of like 25, I think, for someone training for a marathon or any distance event at, you know, yes, any distance event, wherever you are. My iron was really low, and oddly my testosterone was a little high, but that's genetics, and I'm still looking into that. But yeah, I'm a lady, and I don't really know why that is. I am aware that Olympic athletes, and I'm very far from one, get accused for doping if they have like high levels of testosterone in the Olympics, but I'm not taking steroids here. Like, that is literally just, that came back on my results. But that was the least of my concern. It all made sense. You know, the low ferritin, hemoglobin, iron. Basically what that means is my body was not able to transport the oxygen that it has been needing to transport to my working muscles when I've been running. So essentially, when I spoke to my doctor, they were very confused at how I was even able to run a 9-mile tempo run at a 6:40 pace. And I'm giving you that kind of context because it was almost like I was suffocating my muscles, and my body was just giving more than what it had because of the lack of iron, ferritin, and hemoglobin, which, you know, facilitates the transportation of that oxygen to those working muscles. Same with iron. It's like an essential, and ferritin, essential thing for any runner to have. So immediately, I went with a doctor's recommendation, and I got this from GNC. I don't know, this is probably backwards. I'm really bad at doing this, sorry, because it's always the flip, gosh. But this is an iron supplement. It has ferrous sulfate in it, which is one of the 2 major ingredients to up your iron, and, you know, your ferritin goes along with that. And hopefully in 3 months when I get retested, you know, we'll see major improvements. I take 65 milligrams once a day. Today is day 2. I don't know if I already feel better. I woke up this morning still feeling a little lethargic, but, you know, I'm sure this takes a week to kick in. Let's be real. So yeah, you know, even it's on the package. If you're very unsure of, you know, what to get, or if you want to get a second opinion from a doctor, this tells you right here, you need iron to formulate healthy red blood cells because they transport oxygen. So this is a supplement. Now, to be able to hit that sub-3 goal, you better believe I better get my ferritin, my hemoglobin, and my iron levels way up. And my energy is going to go along with that. And, you know, I just completely broke down yesterday. Full disclosure, I was like, wow, you know, I had a moment, and I was upset because I did have COVID a little over a year ago, 2 Marches ago, and I am vaccinated, and, you know, God willing, I will be okay. But, you know, just, it took me back a little because it's scary. It's scary to hear things that are new to you, but it's also important to hear them and be aware of them and accept them. Now, I stopped eating red meat 10 years ago because I had an eating disorder. I just wanted to be skinny. This is 10 years ago. I'm 31, so I was 21, you know. You know, what girl doesn't want to be skinny and, like, look good at 21, right? We live in a society where that is what everyone wants to look like. So people that didn't know me and just met me, they were like, oh, you look great. And maybe I did to them, but really, they didn't know what I looked like prior to that, and they didn't know what was going on the inside. No one does. When you look at anybody, you know, there are some people that are just naturally really lean. And, you know, to all the men and the women out there, genetics do play a part, you know, in how your body is built and what your muscles could do to an extent. So, you know, people judging you just have an insecurity in themselves. And yeah, it's scary to, you know, share certain things because, like I said just a few moments ago, we all, to an extent, I'm sure, have a fear of being judged. But if we didn't share this information, then how could we help other people? Yes, bottom line. So, when I said to myself yesterday, after I had my little emotional meltdown, you know, I need more iron. I have not eaten red meat in 10 years, like over 10 years. I was like, I'm going to do anything to not jeopardize this performance goal. I don't care. I don't care what I look like. I care about what I could do and how I could perform. And I'm a coach, and I need to be okay for my runners. And I hired a coach to coach me so I didn't have to handle my training. And thank you, Jason Karp, you know, for helping to guide me and work my basic speed. So this is a personal, really big moment for me, but I am about to have my first, I guess, form of red meat that's well done in over 10 years. I hope I don't puke on this chat. And I'm not doing this for attention. I'm just doing this because I want to share this and document it for you, for me. And yeah, let's see where this goes together. We're in this journey. Hopefully I'll run like a superhuman next, but more importantly, get my health intact. Yeah, here we go. All right, so for those of you meat eaters, kudos to you. I have not, again, had a cheeseburger in over 10 years, but I cooked it well done just because it still grosses me out a little. Full disclosure, but yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, Al. So, hamburger. We're doing it. We're getting that iron up, so let's go. There's only a way to look at things and shed a positive light on them when they're really bad, and this is one of them. Okay. I'm a meat eater. That is, excuse me, something I haven't done in 10 years, and it was actually pretty darn good. Now, I'd sit here eating the rest of this hamburger on here, but you know why? I'm not going to take up the time to do that for you guys. I'll eat it throughout the live. Now, I decided to reintroduce red meat into my diet because what better iron can you really get that actually is absorbed? Kudos to all of the vegan runners. That's amazing. I've learned that I'm not someone that could really train at this level without eating red meat. So this, in conjunction with, vitamin C that helps iron, the iron supplement, ferrosulfate. I'm still new to this. I'm not a nutritionist. Bind to your bones is very helpful. Just don't. Yeah. And let me know if you guys cannot hear me, by the way. Well, no. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I just ate red meat for the first time in 10 years. Now, I'm hoping that some of you are kind of either saying this girl is ridiculous, because that's okay. Cool, I'm ridiculous. Or you're saying, I give this girl some credit for getting on here and just sharing what she just did to kind of get her health back intact and to still progress towards her goal. Speaking about myself in the third person. So many of us judge. Let's stop judging other people. Let's share, because just like you, I'm a person and I'm a runner too, and guess what? I'm indulging in this hamburger. And we're gonna say goodbye, low ferritin levels. Daisy, hello girl, one of my other runners. I'm taking another bite for y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll clean that up later, but first time eating red meat in 10 years, okay? Excuse me, in conjunction with the iron supplement, I am hoping to God that my ferritin, my hemoglobin, all that goes up. And guess what, runners on here, when you train for performance, it is a different ball game. You got to make sure that you are feeling strong, your muscles are getting what they need, and if you are someone that really wants a goal badly enough, you will do what it takes to get there. I don't share my setbacks enough, and so I'm going to share them with you right now, because there are so freaking many things to celebrate. And there are also so many things that go wrong in everyone's journey, including yours and my own. And I just feel like we don't share enough of that. So before this, a lot of things have been going wrong. Marathon training is hard. why do we, distance runners on here, why do we run? Why do we run distance? To stay healthy, sure. Maybe to lean out, yeah, I could relate to that. For stress relief, heck yeah. But the challenge is so rewarding. The challenge of the sport, the fact that everyone can do it, but it's a matter of if you choose to go that route. And I understand what it's like to feel alone and isolated. Just understand that you're never alone. And this goes for if something is off with your nutrition, with your iron, with your hormones, with anything. If you need just a running club or you need some friends, you could always join, mine beginning next Sunday at McCarran. Just shoot me a direct message or email me the link in my bio and just ask. And I always say, I am very far from a know-it-all, and I always am a student of my own profession. So I actually got asked if I have a dietitian, and I don't. But I tap into many, many resources, as in people I've networked with and made connections with throughout my running journey, my life up to date. I save all of my nutrition in an Excel document, like very diligently, and I export that data and I'll send it to them and be like, hey, can you take a look and maybe let me know what you would add? And I ask this of various people, and what I'll do with that is bring it back, study it, and try certain things that, might not work for me because I will only figure that out by doing it, or might work great for me, and make note of that. And maybe, make a PDF document out of it for me, because that's my marathon training nutrition plan. But just an idea, fielding experts in the field, dietitians, sports, nutritionists, whomever has a degree in that, is very, very valuable for any endurance athlete, because for me, I like to focus on one thing. It's helping runners live their best lives and run to be their healthiest selves, running happy for life. It's my tagline. And, so just really always learning, always, kind of documenting these things along your journey will help you and will help others, more importantly. So the running community, all of us, if we just share more of our setbacks and just more things that aren't really spoken about, I find so much value in that, because there's nothing to hide. We're all different. And, personally for me, one thing that makes my heart full is seeing my runners that I get to coach crush it. I can't really explain the feeling, but my why behind that is because I try to give them the help I never had by, basically paying forward my expertise, whether that's through, experience and credentials, or just having gone through something like this, even though this is tailored to me. Now, if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I saw your IG live about your iron, can you talk to me about that? I would definitely advise them to go get their blood test, and I'm not a doctor, but just to talk about it and to facilitate that discussion, because it's the worst, kind of like sitting there and like shrugging your shoulders and being scared and backing off of your goal because you just don't know what to do. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're all of you on here, thank you for joining, especially Daisy, who just crushed her 10K. And actually, she lost 20 pounds, by the way. So, Daisy, round of applause for you. I hope you already gave yourself 5 pats on the back today. And, for everyone else on here, I'm not trying to be anyone on social. I'm trying to be me. This is who I am. I do like to share a wealth of knowledge and information that I could help you with, and just the running community with. And yes, this is my livelihood. It's how I make a living. So time is money. And this is valuable for me because I know I'm sharing something that I'm going through, and I'm sure some of you could kind of relate and, you know, share the same. But, you know, really, like, just imagine being stuck in bed and not being able to get up out of bed. Have any of you experienced that? Hold that to yourselves, or don't. But address it. Get it checked out and understand you're not alone, and hey, you might just have to start eating hamburgers and, you know, maybe get it well done. But again, this is kind of a milestone for me towards my sub 3-hour marathon, maybe the Olympic trials one day. We'll see. I'm curious to see how this affects my running, but red meat for the first time in 10 years. Go. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Excuse me. And it's actually pretty good. Like, wow. So I said way before in this chat, 10 years ago I had an eating disorder. I thought it was like a thing to like not eat red meat. I thought it was cool. I kept up with it just because red meat, it's gonna take me a while to get over it, but guess what? Sometimes, actually it should be more like all the time, your health, your friend's health, my family's health should never be compromised by something that is in our control, because this is all in my control. And so I hope that me sharing this, which is really hard for me to do, because it's a tad personal, but I hope this helped you to understand how there are setbacks in training for any marathon. For me, I've been training at a level that my body has never acclimatized to before, through these intense tempo runs, through the increased volume, just between 2 runs a day to track workouts. I was never a track and field baby. I was a very serious swimmer, actually. You know, and it just, everyone has their own journey, and everyone's different. So by sharing all of these setbacks and all of these, I don't even want to say setbacks, all these things that happen throughout your training journey up to whatever race you're doing, whether it's your first lap, which I helped a runner now, which she was an aspiring runner, to do, to having to run circles in your driveway because you're a busy mom and your husband needs to leave the house at 6 a.m., who I train a woman who does that in Colorado. You just get it done if you have a goal. And there's crazy shit that runners do, that they have to make sacrifices to do, but whatever works for you works. And, you know, I always say, I meet my runners where they're at. I'm the coach that works with you to help you structure your training, help you to come back from an injury. Because guess what? I almost fractured my femur and I started hitting a punching bag. It's actually ironic how I met my boyfriend, who was a 2-time Golden Glove champion. He taught me how to box, and that was my way of building stamina, and actually how I trained for the 2019 marathon. Again, with a loose, structured training plan. This is the first time I personally chose to see what I could do as an athlete, while also coaching my runners, and not exhaust myself by trying to train myself. And I've seen a very big spike in my own fitness, and it's kind of cool because I'm like, whoa, I could run this. You know, it's just, running is awesome. For those of you on here, I would never convince anyone to run a marathon. There's no convincing to do. If you want to do one, I'll help you get there. Your friends will help you get there. It's New York City. For those of you in New York City, just thank you for joining. I still have yet to meet you in person. I hope I do sometime soon. And, you know, just understand that the running community is the best because everyone's so positive and everyone wants you to succeed. And if there's a little friendly competition, that's a good thing because you guys will push each other. We'll all push each other to do our best, be our best. I always say sharing is caring. There's a truth to cliches, and it's true. It's hard to do. It's hard to share. But every single person I've encountered in my life, through my running journey, all of the failures I've had, I've learned from them. I'm still learning from them. Just hitting walls by almost being anemic. I was allowed to cry because I was like, that's my health. I don't want to jeopardize that. So here I am. I addressed the issue, and I'm still going to continue eating this hamburger for the first time of eating red meat in 10 years. Coach Fitz, hi, you're awesome. I just had to give you a shout out. Thank you for joining. Runners on here, understand how important it is to share if you look like crap, if all your imperfections, because others could relate, and it's going to help all of us cumulatively do better. It really will. And I'm very guilty of putting on the filters, by the way. I love the eyelash filter. It looks so freaking cool. But I'm also a really big fan of sharing, who I am on here. I'm not afraid to show it. Daisy, that's how you crush your 10K, rooting for other runners. Daisy, yes, you did that. You also got a 13-minute PR, and you lost 20 pounds along your way doing it, girl. And you're onward and upward to the 2022 marathon. And I can't wait to be alongside you running it with you. So, Daisy's just one example, guys, for a runner that, I coach, and she's just starting her journey. So I really hope that you guys took something away from this. Whatever you are experiencing, if you are experiencing a setback in any way, and it might not be iron or anything related to that. You might just be very unmotivated because summer running sucks. It's so hard. And excuse my French on here. But it's hard to run in the human bee. It's hard. Isn't that why we run? Because we like the challenge, Friendly tip, try to go in the morning, and if you just kind of need the extra sleep, go at night and maybe push yourself into the uncomfortable. Join a running club. North Brooklyn Runners is amazing. I'm going to have my runners, again, starting to run on Sundays at 7 a.m. at the McCarran Park track every week beginning next week. And just like for fun. There's nothing that is too slow. Let me just leave it at that. If you want to walk, you walk. Do you, okay? But one more friendly tip. Keep going. Stay consistent and don't give up on your goals, because you will get there if you do that. And whether you're a morning runner or a night runner, find your crew, virtually, non-virtually, everyone's there. Maybe eat a hamburger. This is literally, I can't believe this. First time in 10 years eating red meat. And it's pretty damn good. Excuse me. I know I dropped some stuff on the floor before, but I'm trying to exemplify to you health is wealth. If you have a goal, don't give up on it. Do what you have to do if you want it badly enough to go get it. To not, set yourself back, because also you never know who you're inspiring along the way. I get inspired by runners every day, all over. Like when I see someone running by my apartment, I'm like, do any of you ever get the feeling like, oh my God, that makes me want to run? It's like, I feel that. I feel that too. So I'm not just a coach, I'm a runner. And I love all you, like genuinely, thank you for, joining me on here, and for also sharing, some of your stories. I'd love to see more of, what some of you are going through out there. And, this is kind of new for me, training for a sub-3 goal. It excites me, but I know I won't get there, or I wasn't going to get there if I didn't address my iron, hemoglobin, ferritin ASAP. So on that note, I don't want to take up too much of your lunch hour, guys, but go grab a burger. I'm kidding. Go grab something that, you know, fuels your soul, makes you feel good. I hope I brought a smile to some of your faces, if not all. And I will see you guys again soon. Happy Thursday. And yes, thank you so much for joining.